Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Tachyon Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post Maze of the Masters. This is the variant to, contrast the Galaxy Eyes deck from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal series, with this deck focusing on number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. We also have a bunch of other new forms for different monsters, including an evolved form to Draglubion, another number monster, making use of cards like 7th Tachyon, and the other different Galaxy and Tachyon monsters to utilize this rank 8 Xyz Dragon deck. Definitely a fun one, probably one of the more hyped ones from the Maze of the Masters booster set. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the new monsters, we're running 3 copies of Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. If a Dragon Xyz monster declares an attack, attach this card on the field to it as material. You can only use each of the following effects of Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal once per turn. If a Dragon Xyz monster is on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand to either field. And if this card is normal or special summon, the owner of this card adds 1 Tachyon spell trap from their deck to the hand. So search power, depending on what we want to add to our hand. We also have just straight up search power for cards like 7th Tachyon, since it does have the name in the card. And then also just giving us the added option for attaching this card onto the field for more Xyz material to use with our additional different Tachyon monsters also. We're also running 3 copies of Short Shield Infinity Dragon. If you control no monsters or your opponent controls a monster with 2,000 or more attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, special summon 1 level 8 light or dark dragon monster from your deck in defense, except for Short Shield Infinity Dragon, but negate its effects. Also, you cannot special summon Short Shield Infinity Dragon once per turn. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the turn you activate this effect, except for Dragon Xyz monsters. So, well, not really a limitation since it's the majority of what our deck is comprised of. Just being able to summon out this card and then special summon out an additional card for our resource to then just go right into our rank 8 Xyz summon. We're also running 2 copies of Tachyon Cloud Dragon. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon this card. You can tribute this card to special summon 1 Tachyon monster from your deck or graveyard, except for Tachyon Cloud Dragon. If you special summon a Dragon Xyz monster, except during the damage step, you can target one of them, attach this card to that monster from the graveyard if it was there when the monster was summoned. If not, as material, you can only use each of the effects of Tachyon Cloud Dragon once per turn. So having additional materials to attach on to our Tachyon monster or our Dragon Xyz monster is a very useful play there, but also just being able to have that tribute option to get out some of our bigger Tachyon monsters also does come up and very handy as well. We're also running the 2 copies of Galactic Spiral Dragon. While this card's in your hand or graveyard, if you control 2 or more light and or dark dragon monsters, you can special summon this card in defense, but banish it when it leaves the field. And during your main phase, you can make all monsters you currently control become level 8 until the end of this turn. It's great for adjusting some of our other monster levels, but just easy setup onto the field as well for a special summon. It's a card, while it's in the graveyard, can be set up with our Short Shield, and then as long as it's used for an Xyz play, we can get around the banish part of its card effect as well. And then 2 copies of Nebula Dragon. Just being able to reveal this card and one other level 8 dragon from our hand to special summon both in defense onto the field gives us, once again, that Xyz play to rely on in the deck. And then also you can banish this card from your graveyard with this card, being able to target a level 4 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard and add it back to our hand. Being able to use this card then to recycle cards like Tachyon Cloud Dragon back to our hand to reuse. Also, running small Galaxy Eyes engine in the form of 1 Afterglow and 1 of the original Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, just for more special summon power by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 more attack for Photon Dragon, and then special summoning out our Galaxy Eyes Afterglow just by controlling a Galaxy Eyes monster for more level 8 resources to get onto the field. And 3 copies of Star Liege Seifert. You can send any number of dragon monsters from your hand and or face with the field of the graveyard to add 1 dragon monster from your deck to your hand, whose level equals the total original level of those monsters sent to the graveyard. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to target a level 8 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. So recycle power, but also being able to just use your Star Liege Seifert along with another monster can set it up in the graveyard for you then to use use for the send cost and banish power. And then for the last of the dragons, I run the 1 copy of Chaos Emperor Dragon the Armageddon. It's a small tech I like to run in the deck, just being able to make use of targeting our banished monsters that we may have banished for add back power as well, and then special summoning by banishing Light and Darks from the extra deck to get this card on the field also, with the rest of the main deck monsters just being the hand trap lineup of 3 Droll and Lockbird and 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Just with the dragon setup, you can run a good number of hand traps and not really affect the 1 card plays that a good number of our different dragon monsters can set up in the deck. For the spells, running 3 copies of 7th Tachyon, a really good searcher in the deck. You reveal 1 number exceeds monster in your extra deck that has numbers between 101 and 107 in its name. Add 1 monster from your deck to your hand with the same type or attribute as that monster and the same level as that monster's rank. Then place 1 card from your hand on the top of the deck, and also for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for exceeds monsters. You can activate 1 the 7th Tachyon per turn, but being able to just have that reveal to add a specific card gives us the reveal for a specific extra deck monster, and then add that additional card from our deck to our hand. So it's just search power, very good search power to make use of in the deck. Also, for some of the one-ofs, 1 copy of Tachyon Spiral of Destruction, additional search power for our Tachyon Primal to be able to add to our hand as well. Being able to destroy cards our opponent controls, target a Tachyon in our graveyard, except for Tachyon Spiral of Destruction, add to our hand, or target a dragon number monster in graveyard and special summon in defense. More and more special summon resource or destruction power using this card. 1 rank up magic, the 7th one, to use with our 107 to be able to go into its chaos variant if it's in the graveyard by chance. If not, we can use the normal variant of Barion's Force to do so as well. For just a normal rank up exceeds, the 1 Return of the Dragon Lords for added special summon power and protection from the graveyard. Dragon's Light and Dark for the search power as well. And then the 1 copy of Monster Reborn and the 1 Call by the Grave to finish off the spell lineup. For the traps, running 2 copies of Tachyon Transmigration. Once again, another Tachyon card that can be searched by Tachyon Primal. If you control a Galaxy-Eyes monster, activate as Chain Link or 2 or higher. Negate the activation of your opponent's spell or trap effects and monster effects activated before this card in the chain. And if you do, shuffle the negated cards into the field, into the deck. And if you control a Galaxy-Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, you can activate this card from your hand. Having a counter trap to activate from the hand just makes it all the more powerful for a resource to use. And then also just having the Galaxy-Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster for its need to activate from our hand makes it all the more powerful, because for the fact that we also can activate this card from the hand and stop everything in that chain that may have been activated of our opponents as well using this 1 counter trap. And then the 1 copy of Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. If you control Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, you can activate this card from your hand. During the battle phase, detach 1 material from a Galaxy Eyes Exceeds monster, shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck that were normal or special summon this turn. If you control a number C monster, this card's activation cannot be negated. More shuffle back power and just another Tachyon search to do so, with the rest of the traps being 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, along with the Ash Blossom and the Droll and Lockbird, just another hand trap spot in the deck to make use of. For the extra deck, running 2 copies of Divine Golden Shadow Dragon, Dragluxion. With this card, if it's special summoned from the extra deck, you can add 1 Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. You can detach 2 materials from this card to special summon from your extra deck 1 rank 8 Dragon Exceeds monster with 3,000 attack. Using this card, you control as material. It's treated as an Exceed summon and transfer the materials to it. Summon this way, then you can attach 1 Galaxy monster from your extra deck to this card. And also, with this card, you can only use each effect of Golden Shadow Dragon, Dragluxion, once per turn. But this card just is the answer for so many of our plays in the deck, because it can give us access to the remainder of our extra deck, also having the additional attach of a Galaxy Eyes monster from the extra deck onto this card to do so. 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and it's 1 Chaos variant as well to run in the deck as well for the added monster effect negation, and also just their attack boosting of their original attack and defense of any monster on the field. And then also with this card being able to have the additional attack boost and make a second attack during each battle phase, also that needing those just additional Exceeds materials, which can be also attached quite easily with our other cards. The 1 Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, along with the 1 Draglubion, which is a great addition to attach or summon out on top of Dragluxion. The 1 number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, the 1 number 38, and the 1 Heretic Son of Heliopolis for the added rank 8 destruction power in the deck also. And then one additional Xyz monster in the form of number 104 Masquerade as just another option for the rank 4 Xyz plays, potentially to use with cards like Starleaf Seafort and our Tachyon Cloud Dragon also. With the rest of the extract monsters being one Sky Crisis and the one Sky Thunder for added Xyz or overlay monsters, and then our link monsters being the one Galaxy Eyes Satellite Dragon and the one Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres to finish off the link monsters that we run and the rest of the extra deck. As for some of the go-to plays in the deck, our Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon sets up so many of our plays just with the special summon of this card, being able to then special summon one level 8 or light dark dragon monster from our deck. In defense, gives us that one additional monster as well with this card. It negates its effect, sadly, but then we have our overlay play to then go into, I would say, the best setup card in the deck, being our Golden Shadow Dragon Drigluxion. If it's special summoned from the extract, you can add one Galaxy or Tachyon card from our deck to our hand. So then from there, we could search out potentially the Galaxy Eyes cards if we wish to extend more and more plays, or go for the additional search of our Tachyon Transmigration, having this counter trap for the add off this card, being able to detach 2 from this card as well, to then special summon out our Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, having the counter trap ready to go with this card, and the added monster that we summoned out also. It's a very simplistic play, but very useful just for searching out the needed cards to do so. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.